Hello everybody, welcome to it's actually entry number 13 in my MMA Diary. This one's going to be a short one. It's going to be a quick recap of the Hunt vs.Mir card that happened on Saturday, March 19th. I'm doing this on the 25th, so like all my other ones, my memory's a little hazy. I didn't take any notes for this one because I liked my number 12, my MMA Diary 12 so much, and I did not take notes for that. So I'm just going to do this impromptu. I'm going to go off my memory, which I've mentioned several times. Not great. So first fight of the card, I got that right. It was Ross Pearson over Chad Lepre. It was a close fight. Very close fight. It was not a knockout. It was not a submission. It was a decision. And I think it was a split decision for Pearson. I was fine either way. You know, it was a very close fight. But I got the points for the win, so I'll take it. Beck Rawlings versus Si-Hong Ham. You know what? Let's just go in order of the card. So, Pearson versus Lepre. Got that right. That was Pearson. The next fight I predicted was Leslie Smith versus Rin Nakai. And Leslie Smith got the win. But that was a way more entertaining fight than it should have been. Like, damn, I like Rin Nakai a lot. I don't know why, but she's so fascinating to me. It was so cute when she got Leslie Smith in the clinch and she tried throwing knees and her knees couldn't get up there that far because Leslie Smith's way taller than her. It was kind of heartbreaking, but it was so awesome. Go Rin Nakai. That was her last fight on her UFC contract, I guess, because her manager didn't want a 4-fight contract. He only wanted 2 fights. I don't know. Rin Nakai, everything about Rin Nakai is just weird, but I like her a lot, and I want her to fight more in the UFC or in Bellator or in Risen. I just want to see her fights more. Brendan O'Reilly versus Alan Jouban. Alan Jouban got a quick knockout. He came out aggressive in the first, and he looked good. He didn't get any marks on his moneymaker, so he bounced back. Yeah, hope to see him again soon. He looks pretty good. So Beck Rawlings versus Si-Hong Ham. I don't know. I'm very bad at her name. I got that perfect pick, y'all. Perfect pick. People were giving the fight to Ham. I thought it was pretty clearly for Rawlings, although I give Ham credit. She's tough. I'm excited to see her fight in the future. Beck Rawlings isn't exactly the greatest, but she did enough to get it done, and perfect pick, 3rd round decision. James Tahuna versus Stephen Bossy. I had picked Tahuna, so far I got all these picks right. I picked Pearson, I picked Leslie Smith, I picked Alan Jouban, I picked Beck Rawlings, and I picked Tahuna against Stephen Bossy, and wow, that was a bad pick. He got his ass kicked. Poor Tahuna, man. I think he should just retire, but he got his clock cleaned by Bosse. And Bosse looked scary as hell after he won. He was like talking to him and shit, like, yeah, I knocked you the fuck out, yeah. Like, it was pretty frightening. That guy's pretty intimidating. Daniel Kelly versus Antonio Carlos Jr. I got that wrong. It was I picked Antonio Carlos Jr. It was Daniel Kelly. Daniel Kelly was getting beat for I think it was a 3rd round where he finished it, but he was getting beat pretty good, at least in the 1st round. Antonio Carlos Jr. was pretty good. Then Daniel Kelly got a nut shot either in the 2nd or the 3rd round, and after he got his nuts kicked, he looked pissed, and he went out after Antonio Carlos Jr. and knocked him the hell out. That was pretty awesome. He didn't knock him out. I think it was a TKO. I think it was TKO, ground and pound stoppage. But Daniel Kelly, good for him, man. 2 wins in a row in the UFC. He's like 38 or something. Awesome. Keep on fighting until you lose, brother. Jake Matthews versus Johnny Case. That was the best fight of the night. I think that won fight of the night. That was a really good fight. And I picked Matthews, and Johnny Case was winning the fight. And in the 3rd round, Jake Matthews got him. He tapped him out. He almost tapped him out earlier in the 3rd. And then he did tap him later on. Yeah, he did tap him. It was a very entertaining fight. Both those guys are really good. excited to see them in the future. You notice how I'm always excited to see these people in the future? It's just because I'm getting more and more into fighting. I'm starting to recognize these people. I'm starting to see how they're developing. But yeah, Jake Matthews was trying to case very good fight. Neil Magny versus Hector Lombard. How about it? That was a pretty crazy fight, no? Hector Lombard getting catching Magny in the first and almost putting him away. Like, I thought it should have been stopped in the first. I was pretty scared for Magny. I really like Magny a lot. I was pretty scared for him, and then what do you know? He survives the first 10-8 round for sure for Lombard, and then the second, Magny comes out like a house on fire, and should have stopped him in the second. The ref, Steve Percival, was letting Hector Lombard off, really. I mean, Hector Lombard was giving him the thumbs up and all that, but it probably should have been stopped. He was just some Sean Alshante or Chris Mendenhall or one of those MMA writers tweeted out that they counted 117 unanswered strikes in the second, which was pretty crazy. Then goes to third, and Magny puts him away pretty quick. I thought it was going to be a decision. Magny ended up getting the TKO. Good for Magny. Then the main event. I picked Mir. I got Mir, Antonio Carlos Jr., and Tehuna wrong. But I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 right, so 6 out of 4. Not bad. Now let's do the fight. The main event of the evening. So, Mir vs. Hunt. That was kind of anticlimactic, to be honest. I mean, it was a good performance by Hunt, no doubt. Mir just looked odd. I don't know. I mean, you have to respect Mark Hunt in his stand-up game, no doubt. So I can understand Frank Mir not trying to, recklessly get in there. He did try to take him down a few times, but they were sort of haphazard shots where he didn't really commit to him. And, yeah, Hunt just kept him at bay, sort of took his time, and then he just boom. I think Mir tried to shoot in for a takedown, I think, and then Mark just brought his fist down on top of his head and knocked him out. Walk away KO. Honestly, it was a good night of fights, all in all. The main event, I don't know. Frank Mir is an awesome fighter. He's a badass dude. But I just don't... His fights don't get me too excited, like the Bigfoot Silva fight, the first one. Yeah, that was exciting, because it was fucking war. But a lot of his fights are, I suppose a lot of heavyweight fights are more or less just, people sort of filling each other out for a really long time, and then delivering the damage in a quick blow, like that, Junior Dos Santos, Alistair Overeem fight, where they just sort of, I mean, that fight, Junior Dos Santos, his ball was clinched up in like a fist the whole time. Like, he was just waiting to unload it, and he could never find the range. And then all of a sudden, Alistair just gets him, and that was that.
Clean inside leg kick.
One thing I've discovered with this game is that I am not a good player. I am the worst player. I tried doing it online, and I lost. I won my first one. I did a Ultimate Team or whatever. I won my first match, and then I lost like 9 in a row. Like, I am shit. I don't know anything about this game. I would love to sit down and, in my earlier MMA diaries, I always said for MMA, for EA UFC 1, I was going to sit down, get that training achievement where you do all the training drills, get that achievement, learn the game properly. Never did. And I would love to do that with this game too, where I just do all the training drills, do them on hard difficulty, really master this game. But I just don't have it in me to sit down and do that. I've got other games to play. I've got other shit I want to do too, you know? Good for people. I've always respected people who could buy one game, make that game last for months. You know? I wanted to get up and just master that game. Me, I was like an idiot. I waste my money on all sorts of games. Never really learn how to play them properly, and move on before I even finish a lot of them. You know, I don't know. I like experiencing new things, even if it sacrifices, or even if I have to sacrifice actually truly understanding those things. It's kind of like reading. You know, I'll buy a book, I'll finish the book, new book right away. You know, I won't really try to digest what I just read. Anyways, yeah, I'm not good at this game. That was the point of this whole thing. Yeah, not a lot else to say about the Australia card. It was all in all, it was entertaining. Rin Nakai, highlight of my night. I really like Rin Nakai. Daniel Kelly was a highlight. Jake Matthews vs. Johnny Case was awesome. And go Neil Magny. I want to see more Neil Magny in my future. I don't think he's necessarily a title contender, but he's an entertaining fighter. You know, I hope they don't let him go. But transitioning into news and notes here, one of the fighters who I really enjoyed watching in the UFC, Darren Cruikshank, he didn't sign with World Series of Fighting like I hoped. He signed with Risen in Japan. So it's a bit of a weird signing. I don't know why he'd go to Japan over Bellator. I don't know. Maybe it was just better money. I mean, if you're getting offered better money, do it. But Risen seems like it would be the slowest road back to the UFC.
Good knee to the body by Mir. And he's throwing more. We take a look at the striking accuracy for Frank Mir.
Gabby Garcia, I think that's her name. The big, huge muscle chick who fought last time at Risen. I actually kind of like her. I think she's pretty cool. But she's going to be fighting soon too in Risen. I think in the next Risen event. Oh, big news of the week. Alright, I almost forgot all about this. Big news of the week. MMA is now legalized in New York State. So, we're going to be seeing motherfucking... We're going to be seeing goddamn... We're going to be seeing fights in Madison Square Garden.
There is some serious bruising.
Ah!
He postures into place.
See if he looks for a knee.
So, Lorenzo Fertitta said they're going to stack the deck when they come to New York. So I'm expecting Chris Weidman, Frankie Edgar, fucking ooh shit, Chris Weidman, Frankie Edgar, John Jones,
solid punch by
who else is big New York? Aljamain Sterling,
Mir switches
John Vellante, all those guys. I'm expecting to see them there, and people are saying that it'll probably be bigger than 200 is, because as all these fight cards get filled out here.
Oh, very nice.
Oh shit.
45 seconds.
Fuck.
Side control.
As all these fight cards get filled out here before we get to
30 seconds.
Before 200, like 198 is a ridiculously stacked card. I think I mentioned this last time.
I like that, Mike. I like how he's mixing it up.
But they're gonna have to fill in 199, and they still have fight nights that they have to fill in between that. Also, they're gonna be doing a 3-night fight thing like they did for 194, where they're going to have Ultimate Fighter finale. And I think that's going to be headlined by Joanna Jacek and Claudia Gadelha. And then they have a Fight Pass show before that. And then they have 200. So they have a lot of fights that they have to make up before UFC 200. I'm not going to say that UFC 200 is going to be some sort of garbage card. I'm just saying they're going to be losing their options pretty quick here. So once all these cards get over with, they're going to have a pretty big swath of options for when they do go to New York. Like they can plan this November card well in advance. They should have been planning 200 well in advance. I don't know. Maybe they have some awesome plans in store. Speaking of UFC 200, they have, well, let's just say it's pretty much all but confirmed that it's going to be Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor 2. And I don't like it. And I understand how it makes sense, but who the hell really wants to see that, you know? I get that. Oh shit! I get that. UFC has to market to the mainstream, and that people like Conor McGregor and they like fucking Nate Diaz. God damn it!
Oh, looking for his back.
He's doing a great job of moving and transitioning here on the ground.
We are back in the half guard.
I hate the ground game. I am so bad at it. Oh, get up. They have to market to the mainstream, so that, and the people in the mainstream know Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz now, because holy hell, they made a big deal about that. But
Nice knee to the body there.
Can you really run it back? Like, the people have been mentioning that if it's not going to be Tate Rousey, shit. If it's not going to be Tate Rousey for when Tate comes back, or when Rousey comes back, it's going to be, it could be Holm and Tate at UFC 200. Are you really going to do the same card as 196? Like, what? God damn it, I'm fucking terrible at this game. I've been watching a high-level player called the C4 Snake. He's been streaming on Twitch, and Jesus, he's good. Like, it just makes me feel like garbage. I'm like, oh my god, how am I this bad?
Great defense.
Oh, he's getting some hip in that one.
Man, outstanding takedown defense tonight. Solid short hook from the clinch. Hunt with an elbow to the head. And again, another nice elbow. He's really doing a ton of damage with those.
Oh, no doubt about that. And he's in the Muay Thai.
Oh, fuck. Got him.
Oh, big shot.
Oh, he got reversed.
Ooh.
What a way to work at the finish of the
Yeah,
round.
so UFC 200 is looking like Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor 2.
Down from Frank Mir.
I've already mentioned that Travis Brown versus Cain Velasquez and Gegard Mousasi versus Derek Brunson's probably going to be on that card. They haven't really alluded to anything else. I was thinking Jose versus Frankie, but this doesn't. Poor Frankie, he doesn't deserve that. Even if it is for an interim title, Frankie doesn't deserve that. He needs to get that Conor fight, and if he has to wait all the way till November to get it, I'd be so depressed for him. And if Conor doesn't even fight him at 145, my god. If I was Frankie, I'd just quit. I'd be like, I'm done. I'm retired. I'm not going to deal with this bullshit anymore. I'm sure he's not financially in a position to do that, but...
Oh, he lands the roundhouse to the body. Oh!
Got him. Walk off.
And it is all over! Wow!
There you go. There it is. UFC Fight Night 88. That's looking like a good card. Let me bring it up for you here. UFC Fight Night 88. I believe it was announced during the Australia card. Thomas Almeida versus Cody Garbrandt. Two young, exciting fighters. I think Almeida's probably going to wipe the floor with Garbrandt, but this is a big step up for Garbrandt. He'll be in the upper echelon if he can beat Thomas Almeida. That's a pretty exciting fight. I like that fight a lot. Co-main event, Henan Barao vs. Jeremy Stevens.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That's a good fight. That's at 155. Henan Barao's going up. Or 145. I keep getting that confused. He's going up to 145. Tarek Safadine versus Rick Story. Hell yeah. Chris Camozzi versus Vitor Miranda. That's a pretty good fight. I'm excited for that. Lorenz Larkin versus Jorge Masvidal. That fight is going to be awesome. Are you kidding me? That's like the best fight of the night for sure. Josh Berkman versus Paul Felder. Josh Berkman is one tough son of a bitch. Paul Felder is an exciting striker who might be a bit overrated, but I like him a lot. He's an exciting fighter. Diego Ferreira versus Abel Trujillo. Good fight. Eric Koch versus Joe Proctor. Keith Barish versus Jake Collier. Adam Milstead versus Chris De La Roche. And then just announced not too long ago, Jessica Ai versus Sarah McMahon. That's a fun card, but I gotta say that there's no real main event on that fight card. But who cares? You know, if it's a fight night, if it's on FS1, who gives a shit? That's a good card. You know, I'm not a big main event guy. Like I said, for this Hunt vs. Mir card, the main event was probably my least anticipated fight. So I don't need a big main event. I'm just saying I don't think it'll get a lot of ratings because there's no real big name on there. But you know, for me, for hardcore UFC fans, I'm not really hardcore. I'm getting into it. Shall we say? I'm getting more and more into it. A card like this is great, so I'm happy with it. So there you go. That's a short. Yeah, it ended up not being too short, but that's my MMA Diary 13, and I think the next fight card's April 10th, so I guess I'll be off a week. I won't have to do one next week, unless some big news happens. But yeah, biggest news of the week, MMA is now legal in New York. There you go. Thanks for watching. See you next time.